My name is Jing Zhang Benavot. I am the Director of International Recruitment and Retention at Emma Willard School. We are an all-girls school in the New York State. But does not impact the topic I talk. Don't worry if you have a son or a boy here in this room. That applies to all schools. So good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Sawadee ka. Very happy to be here with you. And also thank you so much for your time and attention here. The topic I want to talk about today is how to select the right fit school for your child. How many of you are wondering this topic or have been thinking? Or how many of you have been bothered by this, right? Thank you very much. And there are 42 great schools in that ballroom. But the question for you is how should I choose, right? How would I know whether the school A is a good fit or school B is a better fit? How would I know? I was thinking about the question myself. And I was thinking, that's easy. Do a campus tour. Come to see campus, right? Right away. I guarantee you, once you step on any campus, right away you will feel what a campus culture is. The community, the campus culture is something very hard to be described in language. I say the campus is very, very welcoming. I say at Emma, it's very welcoming, very supportive. But to you all sitting here, you cannot feel it. It's nobody's fault, but the culture is hard to be felt through words, through languages. So I was thinking, easy, come to see campus. However, I also know it's not easy to go to United States. It's not just, you have to purchase ticket, but also you need the time. I know you're all very busy, right? Parents are busy with work, kids are busy with school. So then I started asking myself, if parents and students cannot come to campus, how can they know whether the school is a good fit for their kid or not? So the next several slides, I would talk about the things from my perspective. I try to put myself in a shoe of a parent to see what might be important for you to consider. Location, right? Any of you here like eat pizza? Any of you? I think you should go to New York. You see here, that's a United States map, and this is the East Coast with New York, with Massachusetts, Boston. They eat lots of clam chowder because they're close to water. And this is California, right? They have lots of grapes. They have lots of wine, lots of alcohol. Of course, this map is kind of like a joke. It's tried to be funny. But also, I'm sharing this information with all of you because I think location matters. Yes, in New York, probably lots of people eat pizza, right? At Emma Willard School, every Friday, it's our pizza day. But does not mean everybody only eats pizza. No. Does that mean everybody in California drink alcohol, drink wine? The answer is no. But let's think about what's really location mean. Location can mean climate, weather, right? The East Coast, as we know, there are more snow than the West Coast, or the North is colder than the South. So I think you should talk with your own child. Ask them, do they like ski? Do they like winter? Surprisingly, I have students. I have right now this year, I have 6 students from Thailand. All these decades, we always have students from Thailand, from Vietnam, as we know, are quite a warm area. Kids having great time at Emma in New York State. They love snow. They love the weather. They love 4 seasons. They said it's kind of boring back home. There is only 1 season or 2. It's hot or hotter, right? So they like 4 seasons. So I think you can talk with your daughter, with your son. Do they like 4 seasons, or they say, Mom, no, don't send me to any places that I will see snow. I hate snow. Snow make me feel uncomfortable. If that's the case, then I would recommend consider South or California to the West Coast. And also location can mean, do we have any families, friends in United States? For example, one of the uncle lives in Boston, lives in New York, or maybe grandma lives in Florida. If you have these connections, make a consideration, because the boarding schools, usually, I won't speak for all, but most boarding schools, our dorms closed 4 times a year. So first one is Thanksgiving, that's next week. Then it's Christmas. Then it's a spring break in March, and then it's a summer break. If you have some families nearby, could be a big support. But that should not be the only reason you chose a school, because grandpa is in Florida, so I sent my kid to Florida. Just to consider that, to see how strong that connection is, or how much that matters to you as a family. What else location can be? Travel, right? For example, coming to Emma Willard School right here, students fly to JFK. We have a school bus to pick them up, bring them to school. It's about 2.5 hours by car. So I would suggest all of you ask for the school. What is the closest airport? If I send my kid to your school, which airport they should fly to? To Boston, to New York, to San Francisco, and from there, how they get to campus. Keep in mind, we're talking about 13, 14 years old. Or if you're thinking for kids go to junior boarding for 5th to 6th grade, they're like 12, 11 years old. I'm also a mom. I understand it's not easy to send a young kid to travel long distance by themselves. So, safety, security should always be our priority to think. Right? So we ask ourselves, do we have family connections? Do we have any friends can help if our child needs? Where they fly? Are there any major airports nearby to support? And does school provide school bus? Like our teacher will drive students for free to pick them up from nearby airport that is only 20 minutes from our campus if students fly to the city where we are. If it's going to New York, we will send a school bus to pick them up. And community. We talked about location. We know generally I won't send my kids to New York or to Massachusetts, New Hampshire, or Minnesota. Now we need to choose. Within those areas, there are many schools. But first, you already kind of like make it smaller, the options. You filtered out some of the options for you. And then you need to ask to talk with the kid about community. It is very important. I put it community even before academics. Some of you may argue with me saying, no, academics should be more important. I would not argue with you. I think you should ask a kid what is more important to them. I put community in front of academics is because students, your child, are choosing not just a school, but also a home. If going to a boarding school, they probably will spend 8 to 9 months a year at the school. And they will spend roughly 3 to 4 months at home. So that's why I'm saying going to a boarding school is like going like their second home. They will spend lots of time there. I think it's important for their health, for their mental health, for their social well-being, to go to a place that they feel comfortable, they feel home. Students need to feel relaxed. Then they can focus on study. If your child is going to a place that they don't feel they belong to there, they don't feel they can relax, they feel like they have to wear a mask to act, to pretend, they cannot be really who they are, then I personally don't think that is a good place for your child. Because if they cannot relax, they cannot feel like they're at home, then they probably cannot focus on study. That's why we're talking about community could be even more important than academic programs. Because if a school is excellent, it's what we say, the top few schools, excellent programs. But when your child look into the community, they feel, no, mom, this is not a place I feel comfortable. Then forget all the academic programs because that will not help your child. Sorry, I'm keep moving around, may give a camera person a hard time. So I think in order to learn about the community, there are a few things we can look into together. First and foremost is talking to current students. Like many schools, like the school I work for, Emma Willard, we have multiple students from Thailand. They speak Thai, and they're coming from the same cultural, same area as your child. Ask them, how do they feel at that school? If you're interested, right? We chose location, then we narrow down a few schools, then try to reach out to the current schools at those schools, current students at those schools, asking how do they like it? How do they like it being a Thai student in that school? Because American students may feel very comfortable at a school. That's not that mean. Students from Thailand, students from Japan, students from South Korea may feel equally comfortable. Is the school welcoming? How do they treat students speaking different language? There are schools tell students, your parents sent you to America to study English, so do not speak Thai. At Emma Willard, we tell students, you should use any language you feel home. We want you to feel like a home. Of course, in classes, we want you to use English, but otherwise, please do everything you feel comfortable. So there are differences. Asking the students, can you use different language on campus? How do they treat international students? If you have questions, who are the teachers can support you or can help you? And the co-curricular activities. I believe, how many of you today here sent your child to the US only wants them to study, don't do anything else? Right? I believe very few. In other words, most of you probably think, boarding schools have very rich resource. Let's ask them, what do they have? Believe me, schools can be very different. For example, if your child play ice hockey, I will say, I am so sorry, but I don't think my school is a good place for your child because we don't have ice hockey. Or if your child is a swimmer, loves swimming, I would say, please consider us. We have very good swimming team. We have a big swimming pool and a diving pool. They can do both. They compete. They also practice together. Or if they do horseback riding, come consider Emma. We have national champion in our school. They win the first place in the whole United States for that age group. So ask your child, what are they really interested? And also, these are the things they for sure wants to continue in boarding school. Meaning, without these activity program, they will feel a big loss in their high school. They cannot have 4 years without that. If that's the case, then ask the school, do you have A, B, C, D? If they don't, cross them out. If they do, keep them on your list. Or students are dancers, right? Or ballet or jazz is important to them. Ask very specific questions, then we will narrow down your list. And the event and weekend activities, these are very important for boarding students. Again, that's their home. Think about your child at home now. You probably go shopping on weekend, go to a nice restaurant on weekend in the evening. Do schools provide these activities, supports to students? How often do they take students out of off campus? Do they do once a month? Do they do every weekend? At Emma, every Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, we take students off campus. They can go to farmers market, go to a movie, go to restaurants. Some also talking about I'll leave it to the food. I will talk more. So all these activities, and also what do they do, right? Are they allowed the student to sleep over at night off campus? If that's important to your students. We take students to New York City. They stay 2 days there, stay at a hotel with teachers, with friends, take them to Boston. We take them to see different universities in the United States. We take them to Canada, to Montreal. These are all very important things. And diversity, right? How many of the students wants to go to a place, students coming from one background? If that's important to you, then choose a school that is not diverse. If your child care for, I want the students coming from Thailand, from Europe, from Africa, then ask the school how many countries your school students represent. And the food, it's actually a small thing, but very important, right? What do they have access? And some schools allowing takeout, other schools do not. I won't judge what is good, what is bad, but ask your kid whether it is important for them to have authentic Thai food. If it is, then you need to look for the school they at least allow takeout. Students can call restaurant and then deliver food to them. We're not talking about every day, but believe me, once they live in a new place, food can be very important to them. Housing, right? Whether the facility, students feel comfortable. How many kids share one room? It's double room, it's a single room, or it's multiple students share one room. It's all very important. I will leave some time for questions, so I'm going more quickly now. I was reminded that there are only a few minutes left. And now it's academics. After you choose a community, these schools, possibly, you choose 5 schools, can be good community for your kid. Then look into their academics. What are the courses we're not looking to English, math, biology, all the schools have. We're talking more unique classes. Some students love marine biology. We have. Other students probably don't care. Or some students love computer science. Then you need to ask schools specific, do you have these courses? Write it down, ask your child what are the courses important to them, write them down, then confirm with all the 5 schools you're interested. Do they have those? College, well, one way to look at the academic is through the college matriculation list. Is that the time up? Oh, okay. And we can look into the list together. All the schools have a college matriculation list. This list is not for you to look for the big names, but more to see if they have a variety of colleges, universities they send kids to. And another big part to talk about, if you have questions, please, I'll stay in the room, we can chat more, is a single gender versus co-ed schools. It's a big difference there. Again, talk to your child and also talk to school representatives like me and my colleagues from different schools to see whether single gender or co-ed school is a better fit for themselves. And virtual campus tour. I started with my presentation with campus visit. I will end it with the same thing. If you cannot go there in person, visit them online. Many schools like us, we offer virtual tour. There will be a student tour guide to take you around to see campus through your computer. We also do virtual events. Come to chat with us online with a group of our students, our current parents, multiple activities or events like this for families to choose. All right. Thank you very much.